Whether you are just starting the game or potentially looking for a new toy, you can't afford to pass up one of these £50 drivers that you can get in 2023. Now, big thank you to Replay Golf for supplying some of these iconic head designs. And today I want to talk about how some of these drivers still can compete with the latest and greatest, and potentially what you're missing out on in terms of the last 10 years worth of driver development. A few things to know: all these drivers I will show you that you can get for £50 in terms of sold listings on eBay, but if you go to a professional reseller, of course they're going to be a bit more expensive. Number two, the shafts and lofts are all quite different in these heads, so I'm not going to do a comparison in terms of total distance. However, I would be interested to see what kind of ball speeds these produce at a similar level clubhead speed to a modern day driver, which we'll do towards the end. Let's start strong. Titleist 910 D3. This is for the guys that are looking for a new toy, 50 quid, been playing for a while, want to have the ability to do a bit of shaping of the driver, low spinning, tons of great shafts, this Diamana in stiff, X-stiff, or even regular flex, quality, old school. This is a proper driver with a lot of tournaments under its belt. And that is a fantastic start. Are we going to get the 300-yard mark? Yes, we are. Right from the get-go, I mean, in terms of ball speed to clubhead speed, that's as good as it gets. Helps that I middled it. But I mean, in terms of numbers, for 50 quid, what a start to the video. One of the big bonuses with the 910 is the adjustable sleeve, so you can obviously alter the loft to your discretion, and also potentially find different shafts for it that aren't going to be that expensive, especially this kind of era. If you are just starting the game, however, I highly recommend the D2 version of this driver head. It's slightly bigger, slightly wider, and slightly more forgiving. But I have other forgiving options in this driver list, and that's why I chose the D3 for this 910. Controlling low spin, just outrageous monster really. Right, my next underrated contender, very similar classic look to the Titleist. Similar feel, even though the shafts are a bit more exotic. You could actually take the head off, re-sleeve it with a Titleist Callaway tailor-made adapter, and it'd probably be worth more than with the head on the end of it. But if you catch this right, unlike that one, it's gonna go a good distance, especially if you catch it straight out the middle. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. Again, similar clubhead speed to the Titleist, but I'll be very interested to see what kind of ball speed we get. Tiny bit too much spin. And again, because it's got regular flex, 10.5, it's not going to go as far as the Titleist. But look at that. Same clubhead speed, same ball speed, same efficiency. Out the middle, they're as fast as each other. This one's just not fitted for me correctly. Srixon Z545, one of the most recent drivers in this lineup. Again, very good sounding driver. Probably the dullest sounding driver, close to the 910. And again, if you find one of these, it's going to go for dirt cheap. One big negative, however, is that the Srixon doesn't have a normal adjustable Allen key like all the other brands and manufacturers. So make sure you've got an Allen key from the seller, or find an Allen key that will obviously fit that attachment to take and adjust the sleeve. Now we're going loud and we're going high. This is one of the most forgiving options you can. The fact that it hasn't got an adjustable sleeve means all the weight can be at the back. And for someone starting the game, 10.5 regular flex driver is pretty much all you want. Not to mention, considering I just picked this up, the grip feels fantastic. Try and find a £50 driver with a good grip. Otherwise, you're going to have to spend 12 quid getting it re-gripped. Again, that was pretty much out the middle, even though I have got the slight block right. Oh, I didn't put a club data sticker on it. Oh well, what ball speed? Let me guess, 169. 167, it was close, not that far off. Tiny bit better hit. Oh, got a bit more out of that. Warming up, 118. Not that much faster than the other two. Slightly off the top of the driver. But again, 168. We're close. Not as efficient as the ones before, but this isn't looking for raw distance. This is very much for that complete beginner driver that's looking to straighten out those slices and get the ball somewhere down the middle of the fairway. The big boys are coming out now. Arguably one of the most cult classic drivers in our game. So many pros use this driver to great effect to win many a tournaments. Lee Westwood, you couldn't get it out of his hands all those years ago. Let's see what numbers we can produce. Not out the bottom of the driver, that is. Oh, there she is. We did it. We found it. The middle of the face, ladies and gentlemen, even though I have got a jumbo-sized grip on the end of it. Slightly faster, hence the ball speed, but exactly the same efficiency. And because it's got a stiffer 9-degree flex shaft, spins dropped. Therefore, that's the longest drive of the day, but no surprise, because I swung that faster than the Titleist. Positives and negatives, again, very forgiving driver, no adjustable hosel, all that surface area, and also a deeper face. So even for you guys that are a bit faster, can hit it, you're gonna be able to get low spin drives out with this as well, because if you hit that high toe, it's going to go a long way. Negatives, it does sound quite loud, just like every ping driver. But with the ping itself, you get great shafts in it. It's classic, it's forgiving. And to be perfectly honest, if you buy it for 50 quid this year, you're going to be able to sell it for 50 quid in 2 years' time. And then my last edition, Callaway X Hot. I believe there's also adjustable versions of this as well. I've got a feeling this might be like an alteration, maybe like a package set, Callaway X Hot, but I like that X Hot head in general. Not massively offset. I think this could be very much like a mid-handicap player or a high-handicap player looking to get down. Very deep face, very similar to the ping, but not as loud. Bit more of a dull sound, closer to more modern-day drivers. And I've hit that pretty good. God, I'm warming up, 120. Doesn't help the data. Very similar head design and shape and style to the ping. And again, gonna have pretty good resale value, just like the ping. But I should probably talk about what is the difference with newer day drivers. For example, we have the Stealth here, 9 degrees, stiff flex. And out the middle, no different. I imagine we're gonna get very similar ball speed to clubhead speed. However, out the toe and the heel, that's one thing I do realise with older drivers. Oh, that's a good start. 116 is that you're going to get just as much ball speed or more ball speed out the toe and the heel. They don't move as much. Off-centre strikes, you're going to get more out of it. But as you can see there, Stealth, last year's 116, 168, 1.45, same distance out the middle as the Titleist, which again, I middled very similar to that. Yeah, that's £50, and this is close to $250 second hand. The point I'm trying to make, whether you're just starting the game or potentially looking for a new toy, out the middle, they're just as fast as each other. And if you find the right shafts and head combination, they're gonna go as long as each other. However, I can't dispute the fact that these are more forgiving and produce more ball speed out the heel and toe. However, if you do come across the ball quite a bit with a massive open club face, do you need that extra ball speed and lower spinning head to send that ball even further right? Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you might like this one up here on the right hand side. Catch you guys later.